Hello, this is Blue Joe Saunders, WBO middleweight champion of the world. Subscribe to Sport and Icons to stay in touch with all the top news. God bless you all.
So Jarrett Hurd, who is the 154 unified champion by holding the IBF, WBA and IBO titles after successfully defending his IBF and gaining the WBA and IBO from Erislandy Lara in his last fight. Looked very, very good. It was an interesting fight. Let's be honest, Erislandy Lara is arguably one of the most boring fighters to watch on the planet. But in that fight, Lara came to fight. He really did. Very, very interesting. Even without the knockdown at the very end there, I would have probably given it to Jarrett Hurd anyway. Fantastic fighter. Okay, I really, really like Jarrett Hurd. Huge guy, absolutely massive. How he makes 154, I will never know. Really, I wouldn't. Now, a few days ago, or 2 days ago even, I did a video with Jarrett Hurd's trainer saying how they would like to fight Kell Brook next as a tune-up. Yep, as a tune-up to help him prepare for Jermell Charlo. Obviously, Jermell Charlo has done everything he can to avoid everybody, and now he's going to take on Austin Trout. Who can justify that fight? You must have some serious fanboyism in you. Speaking of fanboyism, I am a fanboy of Kell Brook. I make no excuses for it or apologies for it. But of course, I understand those who say that, they don't particularly like him, they don't rate him that high, they would fear for him against Jarrett Hurd and Charlo and everything. Okay, fine. And I have no issues with that. I respect everybody's opinions. So please respect mine. So for me, I believe that Kell Brook and Jarrett Hurd would be a very good fight. Now, Jarrett Hurd has commented himself on this whole fight. Now, of course, in the last video, I said that I like Jarrett Hurd, and with him going to be fighting Kell Brook, I'm Team Brook all the way, okay? And I said there's very few people that I actually fanboy for, where I throw all reason out the window and say, yeah, this guy's going to win and he's going to walk through, and I will chastise the opponent for Kell Brook, even if I like him, much like I did with Spence Jr. Even though I was calling for that fight, I was one of the very few people who was actually calling for Kell Brook versus Spence Jr. Now, again, a lot of people say, I don't know, if you're a Charlo fan or you're a Jarrett Hurd fan, well, this is easy work for them. They'll walk through Kell Brook based on the fact that he got his eye socket broke against Triple G. Then in the very next fight, he got his other eye socket broke against Spence Jr. Now, that in itself should tell you that he had a problem with his eyes at that point. He no longer has that issue. And psychologically, right after the Triple G fight, when his other eye went, he got his doctor in the crowd looking at him, telling him to stop the fight because he's going to go blind because of what happened against Triple G previous. So ultimately, he ended up taking a knee. Now, before then, his eye did go in round number 6, but up until that point, Kell Brook was winning that fight quite comfortably. And I don't think anybody can really disagree, unless you're really fanboying for Spence Jr. and you really want to give him the props. Now, how many people do you know have been up on points against Spence Jr.? How many people do you know have been lacing up Spence Jr.? Now, see, I gave Spence Jr. a lot of credit because of the way that he took a lot of the chocolate brownies, if you like, where he was taking some pretty big shots and he was still coming forward. Yeah, he got hurt, and you could see he got hurt. I mean, at one point in the fight, his face went white. Okay, truly it did. And Kell Brook done very, very well. Ultimately, his eye went in round number 6, and then after then, his whole thing was starting to decline. So he was fighting Spence Jr. for 5.5 rounds with one eye. Do you know anybody out there who could fight Spence Jr. with one eye and go that long? Do you know anybody? No, probably not. So anybody who says that Kell Brook will get walked over by Jermell Charlo and Jarrett Hurd, are you saying that these two would also blitz through Spence Jr.? Because by your logic, you have to say that's what they would do also, right? That Spence Jr. would be food for these two as well. If you're saying Kell Brook is food, then surely Spence Jr. has to be food as well, right? Because I'll tell you right now, had the eye not went, he would have beaten Spence Jr. I'm pretty confident about that. But ultimately, anyway, oh yeah, added to that, how many people are actually calling out Spence Jr., by the way? How many? That will be none, except who? Kell Brook, that's right. He actually went to America on the when Jarrett Hurd was fighting the unification with Arislandi Lara, he bumped into Errol Spence Jr. and called him out and said, I want to fight you next. How many people do that to Errol Spence Jr.? A lot of people avoid him, yes? Namely, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, and a few others, of course. Kell Brook, not that way. So to call him a coward and a quitter, clearly he's not. Clearly the goddamn warrior. But anyway, I said that what I don't want to be doing is kicking the crap out of Jarrett Hurd because he's been disrespectful to Kell Brook. Accept the fight, do what you got to do, of course. But anyway, I'm glad to see that Jarrett Hurd has taken my warning, because he doesn't want me to throw him under the bus. He doesn't want that, and I don't want that either. But if it comes to it, I'm quite happy to do it. Anyway, Jarrett Hurd commented himself on the Kell Brook fight, and this is what Jarrett Hurd had to say. I was watching a few interviews on YouTube with Kell Brook saying a few things like, this kid Hurd's not that good, and he'd fight me if there was a belt on the line. Not only does he say he would fight me if there was one belt on the line, because I'm no good. Well, I've got 3 belts. If he wants to show up for the challenge, I've got the opportunity for him. I know I'm the best. At the end of the day, I don't want to slag off any fighters. I just want to keep improving while I feel this way and give people a reason as to why they view me as the #1 champion. Fighting Kell Brook is going to help put me there. Of course, I want all the belts. We don't want pushovers though, or no easy fights, just tough fights to set up a unification with Jermell Charlo. That's why we want Kell Brook. Right now, he's not a natural 147 pounder. He's a little smaller, but he's a decent fighter. The tools that he has are not very specific, and he does nothing extraordinary, but does nothing bad either. I've got my size advantage, and just me, who I am, the #1 unified champion, anything I can do in the ring, I capitalise on. I can walk Kell down, it doesn't matter. Nothing he can do can neutralise anything that I have got. And his trainer as well, who annoyed me the last time round, Ernesto Rodriguez, said this: no disrespect to Brook, because he's a great fighter, a good champion, and it's a great opportunity for the pair to fight. There'll be 3 belts on the line, so what more can you ask for? If he wants to become a second-weight world champion, this is his opportunity to man up. Now it's time to put up, shut up, or check out. That was his trainer, Rodriguez. So, okay, Jarrett Hurd, very respectful. He did say he's not a natural 147 pounder. He's a little small. I think he meant 154 pounder. Unless, of course, the article wrote it down wrong, maybe. But either way, he's a big 147 pounder and we're struggling to make the weight. 154, he's finding a little easier. And he looked very, very good against Sergey Rabchenko. And what happened with Rabchenko straight after the fight? A number of fighters were calling him out. Errol Spence Jr., one of them, saying, if you go get a title, I'll fight you, no problem. Well, this is Kell Brook's ideal opportunity. Go get Jarrett Hurd, take the titles, and have that rematch and avenge that loss to Errol Spence Jr. So, there's that one. Also, of course, Kell Brook, he wants Amir Khan, but he doesn't want Amir Khan next. Well, he does, but the fight isn't going to happen next. It's going to happen at the end of the year. Amir Khan looks like he could well be facing the likes of Adrian Broner next. So, he needs something between now and then. But where does he go? Don't know, but he's got an ideal opportunity here. But of course, straight after the Rabchenko fight, where he blitzed through him, as I said, Jermell Charlo, you know, the social media king, who says a lot on social media, but does not much in reality. As in, he never steps up. He's fighting Austin Trout. Need we say too much more? Of course not. Now, Jarrett Hurd is a legitimate champion, a legitimate warrior. Because not only did he get a title, but he put it on the line against another champion to unify. You haven't seen Charlo do that yet, but Jarrett Hurd has done that. Now, people say, well, Charlo, he offered. He said that he would. Well, Charlo, much like Wilder, says a lot, does very little. But for me, I like this fight. I like Jarrett Hurd. He's definitely got size advantage, no doubt about it. But I've got a feeling I'm not really going to fall out with Jarrett Hurd because he's come across as quite disrespectful. He said he didn't want to slag him off. And he did say that he's watching interviews with Kell Brook. Now, this is before Jarrett Hurd became champion. This is what Kell Brook was saying about Jarrett Hurd when he was offered he was put to him about potentially fighting Jarrett Hurd. This is before Jarrett Hurd was champion, when he wasn't champion, so he said he didn't really rate him. But since then, of course, he's become a unified champion. I would imagine Kell Brook's mind has been changed by that. It certainly has for me and a lot of people now rate him very highly. Some people even have him in the top 10 pound for pound now because of that. I'm sure a lot of that is because he's American. But anyway, that's fine. But his trainer, I've got a feeling I'm going to fall out of his trainer between now and fight night if this fight gets done. Because already that's 2 interviews his trainer, Rodriguez, has piped up with. That's kind of pressed my button a little bit. As I said, I'll do fanboy for Kell Brook. I can't help it. I like him. He's one of the very few people who got me back into boxing, along with David Haye. Anyway, we're not going to talk about David Haye because I've fallen out of him since. Anyway, so his trainer, I agree. Yes, there'll be 3 belts on the line. What more can he ask for? I agree. And if he wants to become a second-weight world champion, this is his opportunity to man up. So are you saying that Kell Brook hasn't been manning up? He didn't take on Triple G? No, he didn't take on Errol Spence Jr. Would Jarrett Hurd take on Errol Spence Jr.? Probably not. Would Jermell Charlo? Probably not. But anyway, but now he's saying now it's time to put up, shut up, or check out. Again, you see, his trainer is rubbing me up the wrong way. Really it is. So if he keeps it up, I'm going to start throwing his ass under the bus. No problem. I don't know this guy, so I'm quite happy to do it. So hopefully this fight happens. It's a good opportunity for Kell Brook, as I said. He can get these titles if he was to win. I know a lot of people say he won't, and that's fine. You know what? That is entirely your opinion. But if he doesn't win, then, oh well, he tried. Okay, and he manned up. If he does win, hey, he's got the opportunity to shut up Charlo once and for all. He's got the opportunity to have his rematch against Errol Spence Jr., probably at catchweight, I would imagine, and do to him what he should have done the first time around. Well, he was doing it until he got injured, but ultimately. And of course, the Amir Khan fight becomes a little bit easier as well, potentially, again, at catchweight. So not only will he become champion, he'll become a unified champion, 2-weight world champion. That's exactly what he wants. Eddie Hearn will be quite happy to put that show on in the UK or the US, of course, with all the billions that he's got right now over in the US. Kell Brook has obviously been to the America before and beat Sean Porter for the title, so why not go to America and take out Jarrett Hurd? But would Jarrett Hurd be interested in coming to the UK? I'm sure Kell Brook would prefer it that way. Of course, why wouldn't he? And if there's more money, again, why wouldn't he? But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, there is some legs in this one. Hopefully, Kell Brook's like, yes, man, Eddie, get it done, baby. Get it done. So, and Eddie Hearn gets it done, hopefully. Who knows? Maybe Eddie Hearn's going to sign Jarrett Hurd. Never know, right? Never know. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I hope this fight happens. I really, really want this fight. I believe Kell Brook beats him. Again, fanboys will disagree with me, but hey, that's fine. I'm allowed to fanboy for Kell Brook too. So call it what you like. For me, it's a very good fight. And if Kell Brook is really easy work, then surely Errol Spence Jr. should also be easy work for Jarrett Hurd and Jermell Charlo as well, right? And if it's easy work, why would you want the fight, right? But anyway, for me, I want this fight. It's a tough fight, good fight, like it. So anyway, drop your thoughts below, click that thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.